Hi there, welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to Storyboarder Toolbox, the channel where you can find tips and tools for directing on paper. This is the first episode, and I wanted to show you a storyboard I did many years ago. And before I do that, I want to introduce you to who I am. Sorry. Yeah. So first, I'd like to take you to what's happening. Because of Corona, I'm home, having my home office, and lost a lot of work overnight. And yeah, so I thought, what could I do? And for a few months, I've been planning to start a YouTube channel, and after a while, also start a course on Udemy or Skillshare or both. So last week, I thought, okay, let's do it. Let's start. So I got my software, and I got some equipment that I didn't have, that I have to buy. And I set everything up and made some graphics, and so made a plan for what I'm gonna do this year. So if Corona is gonna take 2 months or 6 months or 1 year, I'm gonna have something to do, no matter if the clients are calling me or not. So yeah, so that's what's happening, and so now I'm going to start up this YouTube channel, and after a while I'm going to have a website, like a blog, which is going to be connected to this one, and also have the Facebook group, Storyboarder Toolbox, and everything going to be connected together. So yeah, let's see what's happening. But anyway, I'm going to continue doing this. And hopefully it's going to be with less problem, and looks more professional for each episode. Yeah, my name is Raymond Johansson, like you say there. I'm a storyboard artist in Norway, and I also been I started as an art director, and many years ago I just ended up doing a lot of storyboards, and yeah, so after I've been cross working between storyboard artist and art director for a while. And I also been teaching, doing guest lecturing and lecturing in storyboarding and creativity in different schools in Norway. And let's see here. Actually, I started up as an assistant on Olympics, the Winter Olympics in Norway in 1994. That was under the in Lillehammer. I think that's the way you say it in English. And when I started working as an art director in some agencies, I always did my own storyboards. And later I ended up doing freelancing and starting my own company. So basically I've been doing storyboard and content creations for a while. And I think I've been storyboarding about 350, 400 commercials through the last 15 years. And I've also been working a little bit with the TV, as you can see on the screen there. There's a Eurovision Song Contest, which is one of the biggest TV happenings in the world. And I did storyboards for the opening ceremony there. I can talk about different things I did for different people, and give out some names, and thank you to the people who deserves it. But today I'm going to be very short, so that's it. I've also been working on a few movies, not so many movies, and also a few music videos. But my main work is with commercials. So yeah, it might differ, but the big difference is that I work with a lot of different directors, and I also vary a lot on how I work. So I started out using markers and pens and the traditional way. After being inspired by the Star Wars artists, like the people who worked at ILM in the old days on the original trilogy. And today yeah, this is an example of it. This is a mix actually. It's charcoal and pen and brush. So whatever does the work. And also it's fun to mix a little bit. And this is a little bit more how I work more recently. This is one of my setups. Yeah. So I usually storyboard in Photoshop. I have been using Storyboarder Pro. I think that's by Toonboom. I think it's called. Yeah. But I stopped using that a while ago. And right now I'm using a free software called Storyboarder, which is free to download and use. And that one you can connect and co-work with Photoshop, and that really works for me. Yeah, I can do a tutorial on my work flow another time. And yeah, this is one of my digital sketches. I also like to have fun with different things. This is not it's like indirectly related. Also inspired by how they did a lot of the effects in the old science fiction movies. Yeah, where I find some, you get dirt on your hands and it's fun to be a boy. And yeah, and then coat it and then paint it, and yeah. And then I can use it in, for example, in an illustration like this, which is it's a concept sketch for a personal project, as we call it. Personal project, it was called if you like to experiment and have fun, but it's going to be work related, so you can show it in a portfolio if you need to, or just for training. So you one day have the chance to use it actually. And yeah, this is this one is more like a photo and photo collage. We call it photo bashing, and a little bit of illustration work and so on. But this is done in 3D, and then I do like 60% in Photoshop later, where I use photos and so on. It's like a photo collage over in 3D work, so it's a mix of different techniques. And this is also a training, so you can be prepared to do other stuff. Yeah. And also I use Modo mainly. I have tried Maya and Blender also, but I'm not so good with those tools. I've been doing Modo for a while, and the reason is that sometimes when I do storyboard, I can make in Modo it's very easy for me to work, and I can make like a plan, a 3D plan of a house, or just like you go to a what you call that in English, a studio. You can make like studio with the walls and stuff to set up the rooms you need, and you can place cameras, and you can just take screenshots so you quickly have the composition. So you can try out a lot of things. Before I used Modo, I used action figures of my son, and I used the camera of the iPhone. I just took pictures from different angles, and that's all. You can do it in many ways, but if you learn a Modo or another 3D tool, you can use it for things like you see on the screen also. So yeah. Yes, so that's that. Now I would like to show you a storyboard, and then later the film, the product that we ended up with. And this was done, I think it's about 4 or 5 years ago. And I got a call from a guy called Per Bosch. Sorry if I misspelled his name. He do scouting for a lot of international film companies that have to film in Norway. So he have a film service to provide location scouting and production help and things like that. And he called me and said that he needed a storyboard artist to help Martin Campbell, because he was in Norway. And Martin Campbell, for old people, they would remember the TV series Bergerac. He actually directed some of those episodes, and he also directed the Zorro movies, and I think the first with Pierce Brosnan, GoldenEye, and one of my favorite movies, Casino Royale with the latest James Bond. And I was excited, of course, and I got to meet him. I worked with on I think, yeah, Hitachi. It was Hitachi TV screen commercial, and then he said that he was satisfied with my work, and he wondered if I could come to Ukraine in a couple of months if he needed me to, because he was probably going to have go there to shoot a commercial for Lenovo. So and then I got connected again with him, and in the same period he also needed a storyboard for Ford. So this is the storyboard for the Ford commercial. I'm gonna go through each frame. Sorry if I stop and think a little bit, because I am about to speak in Norwegian, so I have to rethink and think in English, because English is my second language. Yes. It starts with a guy walking up stairs, and you're gonna have some sun flares or something there, and it's a diver. He walks up a stair, and we cut to wait, I'm having problem with the camera. Okay. Yes, we're tracking the camera over a hood of a car, and in the brief he said that it's not so important where on the car it is. We're gonna find that on the shooting day, but just put the camera somewhere over the car, and it's gonna look good. I just need some pictures for that, because he was directing on paper, so we need everything down. Tracking over hood, and then we go back to a shot under the diver walking up the stairs, and the notes is from the director. The diver climbs the ladder in silhouette, the sun flaring behind him, the camera craning up with him. So the arrow there is the way you do that with to show that the camera that's on the crane is going up. And then we cut to a new tracking with the camera over another part of the car. So it's going to be really close-up images. And the camera drifting over the car body, the sparkling water from the pool reflected in the paint work. So we are nearby a pool. And then we are cutting again, and this frame is it's very low on a diver who's walking out on a diving board, and the camera is following as he walks. So it's the same, almost the same pace as he is walking. The camera is tracking after him. And then we have a new situation where we have another angle of the car where the camera is tracking real close. Perhaps like this is indicating the backlight of the car. And then we cut to a profile of the diver walking in, and he even wrote the lens here, long focus, so we get a really flat image. The diver walking to the end of the board, the city in the background, and the city is Barcelona. So this is the Olympic swimming pool from the Barcelona Olympics. And we're cutting again, and then we're gonna have an under angle. So it's a low angle, and he walks into the frame and looks down. Yeah, and then we cut to his point of view, and what we're seeing is a car hanging over a pool. I didn't know what kind of car it was. I just thought it sounded strange because he said that the stuntman from Casino Royale, who did the parkour thing in the beginning of that movie, he was going to do the diving here. One of those guys. And asked him, "Is it possible to dive there because you're gonna have the front door open?" He said, "Don't think about that. We're gonna fix that. Just trust me." So of course I trust him, and I trusted him, so I did it. And yeah, the note says that his point of view. So he looks over and looks down, and then the cut to what he sees, and that's his point of view. So he sees the car. So it's gonna fit together with the way he's bending over, and yeah. And then we see it from a wide shot, so we see the whole scene. So this is really first establishing shot of the situation. Yeah, so we see this. We see the swimming pool. We see the diver, and we see the car hanging under the diving board, and we see the city. So this is the master shots that tells the whole idea. Yeah, and then we cut to a close-up of the guy sweating, and he wiped the sweating tear. But the interesting thing is that this scene was cut. It was cut from the finished film, probably because it slowed down the pace, or it just didn't work. So that happens. Yeah, and then we see from the side that he starts the dive, and we cut to a closer where we see taking a pirouette. I don't know if you call that in English, but in Norwegian we say pirouette. He does a flip, of course, I can say that. He does a flip. Yeah. Or whatever dive we select. And then we see it from a top. And this angle is the director wanted me to find an angle that we can see the whole dive through the car and down when they hit the water, but we wanted a dynamic angle. And the thing is that he said when we have a stuntman like this, we're only going to have one shot or two shots of the whole thing, so we need to take at least 3 angles, so we can intercut between those angles later. So, because if you only get it right one time or 2 times, that's the max. Then we have to cover all the shots in those takes. So the sequence of the frames that's coming now is not necessarily in the correct order. It's just the correct order of the way he wanted to film it. So here we have the top. He goes all the way down through the car and down in the water. And then we go from top where the camera is following him on a wire. So he actually dives through the hole, but connected to a wire where the camera is following after him. So we see it go through, and we see, you can notice then on the top of the frame it says CONT, continue. We use that when it's the same frame and the shot is long, but we need to describe it more in detail. Then we can continue the shot. We just continue. So you can see here is 15. It's continue 15A, continue 15B. He hits the water. So that's the whole shot, but from this angle and from the under angle, and it's the same thing. So we're gonna see. It's like the camera is floating on top of the water, and then he hits he goes underwater, and the diver plunges in, and we can see it underwater, and then we can see the camera lying on top of the surface of the water, and then he comes up again suddenly. So that is the movie in storyboards, and now I would like to show you the finished movie, and now you can see how it turned out. Yes, I have sound, yes, and I have the movie there. Okay, it's gonna start really quickly, so pay notice.
No pillars, no barriers. The new Ford B-Max. Life is an open door.
Yeah. Okay, so that was my. Let's see if I have. My other camera isn't working, but that's okay. Let's do it like that. Yeah. So that was my first episode of Storyboarder Toolbox, and I'm gonna rewatch this and see what was good and what was bad, and I'm gonna try to make it even better next time. So and if you have some comments or something you'd like to learn, please comment, make some comments, and if you believe that this is something you would like to continue watching, please subscribe and click on the notice button, so you get a notice when I'm gonna have a new live sending. So I thank you for visiting my channel, and have a fantastic day, and I wish all your close related and family all the best through these corona times, and be careful out there. Okay, take care. Let's see.
No pillars, no barriers. The new Ford B-Max. Life is an open door.
Yeah, thank you, and goodbye, and welcome back.